Welcome back to Caffeine Confessionals. Today we are here to talk about the Challenge USA, the CBS edition of the show. As the official cast has been dropped, the cast photos have been dropped. The show is debuting on July 6th, 2 days after Independence Day, alongside Big Brother Season 24. It is an exciting time to be a Challenge fan. It's a lot of news coming your way. My name is Allan and I'm joined by my lovely Southern co-host, Mr. Luke Muncie.
What's up, guys?
And today we have a very special guest. She's one of the queens of TikTok. She has the Most Likely To Pod, at Most Likely To Pod on Instagram, on a lot of different social media pages. We have Miss Paige.
Hey, how are you guys?
Doing great. Excited.
I'm so excited. Thank you guys for having me today.
Yeah, you have such a big voice in the challenge world now, especially like on that TikTok, Instagram side, which like that's not my domain at all. I'm Twitter, I'm Reddit. I'm the words guy. I'm not the images or voice guy. You are just so charismatic, and people love your opinions, and I think they're gonna really love to see you. And you talk about these cast members. I'm just excited to have you. Simple.
Thank you. I don't know how you do Reddit. I'm terrified of Reddit. I'm so scared. So more power to you with the words. I can't even look at Reddit. So.
Oh, I'm just an all-time snarky asshole. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. Like, I understand the rhythm of the game and just like backtalk like that, you know. So that I mean, you have to be a real depraved human to really get Reddit, and that's where I thrive.
I love it.
But yeah, we're here today to talk about the CBS edition of the challenge. If you like your MTV people, if you like all of that, I'm sorry to tell you, no Real Worlders, no Are You the Wonders, no Room Raiders, no people from Next. We're getting only people from Big Brother, Survivor, Amazing Race, and the Love Island USA version, which I like those shows, and I'm glad that they're keeping it to their own universe, even though Big Brother has had some negative effects on our main challenge season. I'm glad that they had their own playground. And also, we get to see some all-stars from those shows that we probably wouldn't have seen in a modern challenge season because they don't really fit that vibe so much.
Yeah, and I feel like CBS is doing the smart thing that MTV's kind of shied away from. They're just using people from their network show, people that their viewers know, people that have background history together. So I feel like this is going to bring in quite a few viewers. And the challenge needs, like MTV's the challenge, needs to take notes and go back to the drawing board and go back to what they used to do. Because obviously CBS understands why it's such a cool concept.
I think that franchising a popular reality show is never a bad thing. And everybody has said for a few years, especially after like War of the Worlds 2, that the challenge has been feeling a little stale. So why not franchise it and see where it can go in different places? Because if it stays on MTV, I fear that it will end. But if it's, CBS and Argentina and the Worldwide Challenge, whatever they're calling that now, I feel like it could last a lot longer because of that stuff.
1000%. And you also have to think about it like where the challenge was a few years ago, where it's just on MTV. We're kind of living in a dream world now where we're having the all-star seasons where we get our OGs who we never thought would come back are on here. We have the people who would do their fantasy cast. Like, hey, imagine if we had a Big Brother version of the challenge. Imagine we had a Survivor's challenge. Well, we have that now too, and we have our main seasons. Well, the main show has been struggling a bit in recent years. When it comes to the actual branding, it's doing really damn well, and it's a good time to be alive because before, if you had just had one bad challenge season, your life sucked as a challenge fan. Now you have options.
That's true.
Agreed.
Now let's get into these cast photos though, because some of them came out pretty good. Some of them came out pretty bad. I have to say, I think myself included, I'm not the biggest fan of when they do the generic athletic gear, challenge gear photos. I like it when they get to pick their own outfits and really show off their own style.
I agree. I don't know. A lot of like the women weren't even wearing challenge clothing. Like they were just wearing a tank top. Like some of them have the challenge tank tops on, some of them don't. I thought that was weird and inconsistent.
Yeah, that's what I noticed too, because I'm not gonna lie, some of the people I don't know. And so when I was posting the photos, I was like, who the fuck is this? Like their name isn't on there. So it was like a whole thing. I wish there would have been like more consistency with what they were wearing. So
If you're watching the YouTube version of this podcast, on the right-hand side, there will be a photo of the cast member who we're talking about at that time. And we're going to go in alphabetical order, and we're kicking off with Miss Alyssa Lopez from the most recent season of Big Brother. She's from Florida. I believe she came in 7th place on her Big Brother season. She went the farthest of any person that wasn't in the famous Cookout Alliance. She was a bit of, I don't know. Luke, how would you describe her?
I would say she was a bit of a bore. Now, she was on a season where she wasn't going to be a standout anyways, because we had such a dominant force that was the Cookout. Like, she was friends with all of them. Like, she didn't make anyone mad, but she didn't stand out. But here's what's important. For anybody that watches MTV religiously, Siesta Key, she's from Siesta Key. She's friends with like Amanda, some of those other girls. I'm really hoping that she brings that Siesta Key to this show and not the BB23 Alyssa that we know.
I don't want to hear her talk about her swimsuit line one time. That's my only hope for her, because that's the only thing I remember from Big Brother 23 about her. I think her cast photo looks great, though. Like, she looks strong. Her jawline looks good, but I think she's boring. So hopefully she brings a little bit of spice and her personality comes out, because I feel like I don't know her, even though she made it really far on Big Brother 23.
She looks like the hottest New Balance shoes model.
And there's no feet in the picture, Allan.
I'm like, she's wearing New Balance, though. You look at her pose, that's a New Balance. She's definitely wearing New Balance. You can't tell me she's not wearing New Balance in that.
For sure. For sure.
But I actually did find her kind of funny on Twitter after the season. Actually, like, I was shocked because I closed the book on her. I thought she was boring immediately, talking about her swimsuit lines and stuff like that. But on Twitter, she was kind of a troll. I did enjoy that. So maybe if we see a little bit of that, be good. Next up, we have Angela Rummins from Big Brother 20, I believe. She came in 4th place on this season. She was a collegiate pole vaulter, so she does have an athletic background. Another person who has like a swimsuit line. She comes from like a rich family. Comes off, I don't know. I wasn't a fan of her on her season.
Picture's great. Like, if you just look at the picture, okay, she's gonna kill this, and I'm worried that she is. I personally do not like her because her season, she was just so cringy. Even after her season, like her promoting her like cookbooks and the bracelet line that her and Tyler had. I don't know. I dislike the girl, but I'm scared that she's gonna be pretty dominant in this game.
I'll be real. Big Brother 23 was my first season, so I don't really know too many of these Big Brother people. And I've, by talking to some people that are Big Brother people, you either love her or you hate her. But I do love in her picture, I love a high pony. I love a high pony. So, we'll see how she does. She looks really conniving. So,
She's very frustratingly talented because she is, like, no doubt very book smart. She's super athletic. She's super fit. And it's just frustrating because she's such wallpaper at times where, like, she'll have these really snarky confessionals, but then her actual persona will be very non-confrontational. And you just go all in on the villainry or just decide who you are. And that's what's so frustrating because, like, she has a lot of the abilities to either be, like, a really good hero or a really good villain, and she kind of just misdelivers on both.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of people do that, to be honest. When you were describing that, I could have thought of Kayla from, All Stars when you just said that. So, yeah, maybe she'll be the villain. I need a good villain.
Okay, let's see. Next up we have Azah Awasam. Is that how it's pronounced? From Big Brother 23. She finished in 3rd place on her season. She had a really strong social game. I mean, a lot of people loved her for her caring nature. I believe she also is a model herself. She is, just a very likable person, but I think when it comes to the competition element of the show, not super awesome when it comes to either physical or mental comps. What do you think, Luke?
Yeah, if you would have told me that she'd be the BB23 rep, I would have been a little confused. Not that I don't think she's like capable or like in shape. I just think like there's a lot of really intense stuff, and she doesn't seem like a really intense girl. I feel like she likes kind of like the simpler things and staying in the house and not going outside and, letting things get too crazy. But I am excited to see her because, like you said, she was lovable from her cast to the viewers. And I'm sure that'll translate well on this show too. Like, even if she's like hating the daily challenges, even if she's underperforming, it's going to be in a lovable way.
Yeah, I agree. My only concern is she's so tiny. Like, she's just a very little person. And so, we've seen that be a disadvantage depending on what the challenge is. So whether she likes it or hate it, I don't know if it'll be the best thing for her just because she's so little. But I really like her personality. I would hang out with her.
Yeah, the last time we saw a person that thin on the challenge was Jen Lee, and it did not go well. Actually, it was kind of funny, but did not go well. Next up, we have cowboy hat. Ben Drybergen from Survivor Hustlers versus something versus what was it? White Collar Blue. He won his season of Survivor. He went on War of the Worlds or Winners at War. Came in 5th or 6th on that season. He's a former military vet. Very divisive figure within the Survivor fandom. He's Jeff Probst's favorite person. He's like the fandom's like the worst winner ever.
Let me just say the cast photo first. It's not the worst, actually. He looks like he's in great shape, and it's best to wear a hat if you're completely balding. However, why he would ever be chosen as Survivor rep, I get he's a winner, and he was on one of the biggest seasons, Winners at War, but he won his season because it was rigged for him. If you've watched the season, it was rigged for him. He found all these certain things at specific times, and it was rigged for him. Thomas did say something nice, but there's nothing nice for me to say. I hope that he is just a funny guy on the show and whatever, but he tries to put in his insight like he's a smart, conniving player, and he's just not that. So I don't know. I'm not feeling great about it.
I could take him or leave him. I think that he kind of tries too hard to be something that he's not. And I don't know if that's because he's a veteran or because he has this like chip on his shoulder. And I don't hate him, but I'm not like excited. I'm not like rooting for him, if that makes sense. I like his cast photo though. It's not bad.
No, it's pretty good. His skin tone is actually matching like the background of that bluish, reddish blue. It's actually not a bad cast photo whatsoever. It's actually a pretty good cast photo. I don't think he has a chance really because he's not an athlete. He didn't ever win a challenge on Survivor. He never won an immunity or anything like that. He kind of runs funky too. He doesn't like run like a normal human. And I feel like just seeing how a person runs really tells you about who they are as an athlete. Yeah, he kind of runs funky. Okay.
No comment. He just runs like a loser. I hope he's a loser.
Oh my god. All right, next up we have Cashay Proudfoot from Love Island. I don't know much about her. Her smile is impeccable. That's an impeccable smile. I mean, her body looks very sharply defined as well.
So Cashay's crazy in like the best way. I'm excited to see her because I think she kind of like got not a bad showing on Love Island, but like polarizing for sure. You either loved her or you thought she was the most annoying person in the world. And I do think she has lots of redeeming qualities. And she's kind of built. Like, I feel like she can be a force on this season. So I'm excited to see her.
I think Love Island's going to dominate the CBS challenge, honestly, because they are so much more fit than people think they are. And Cash absolutely is. She's a little bit emotional. So that's my only concern, is that sometimes when we see emotional players, they don't think with their heads. Obviously, we don't know what the format's going to be, but that's my only concern about her. But she's very lengthy. She's very fit. And she gets along with pretty much she got along with everybody in her Love Island house. And I think that's a strength. So I think she's one to look out for. I love her photo. I don't know why she has purple hair in it. I think she did it for the show and then it was just it, because she never posted anything like that on social media. So I don't know how I feel about it.
It's a choice. She looks so sharp. Like I know if one of her elbows grazed me, I'd be like out of commission for like 20 minutes. It's like a knife, her elbows. Like she's such a that's a very unique body, and it's very impressive.
And she got new boobs like a couple weeks ago, so good for her. So check out her new boobs
Nice.
on Instagram. You know,
Love
good,
that.
very
I'll make sure to check that out.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Cashel Barnett from Love Island. I'm gonna be real, no insight.
I have no insight either. As far as the picture goes, he looks like a timid little boy who's like, "Have you taken the picture yet? Are you gonna take the picture?" So take it away, Paige.
Honestly, I don't really remember like I can't remember if he won or if he was runner up, but he was kind of a dick, but like in kind of a lovable way. So I don't think he's gonna do well in the challenge. I can't see it. He's kind of like Gabo, like the popcorn muscles. But he's lovable, so maybe he'll last for a little bit because of that, but he's nothing special. Sorry for everybody that loves him, but he's nothing special.
His jersey does not look good on him at all. It looks kind of painted on. It looks like painted on leather. That doesn't even make sense, but it does.
Yeah, I don't know. He's all right. His ex is in the house, so I think that'll be fun. And I know we'll talk about her.
Okay, yeah. When we get to her, tell me, because I don't know all these connections.
I'll tell when we get to all the exes. I'll tell you all about it.
Love it.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Next up, we have Kayla Platt from The Amazing Race. She was on the season. They got interrupted by COVID. I did some basic research into like the Amazing Race subreddit back when like this cast was first announced, and people really liked her and her partner. They seem to be like just really delightful people. She's a flight attendant and apparently is quite intelligent. I don't know what to say. I'm not really getting much from this photo. Seems like a nice girl.
Yeah, she got second on The Amazing Race, and I only know that because I Googled that in the 7 seconds you were talking. So her picture doesn't do much for me. So that's all I have to say, really.
I've never seen The Amazing Race. It seems really stressful, but just like in general, I feel like The Amazing Race was an afterthought when they were casting this show, but she's the only girl from it. So, I guess we'll see what happens with her. She looks nice, but I don't really thought about her at all because I've never seen The Amazing Race, but I'm interested to see if there's only a couple of them, what they'll do alliance-wise.
When I see her photo, I don't think like, oh hey, there's Kayla from the challenge. I'm like, oh hey, there's my friend Kayla. It's just like she's on the show somehow. I don't know. Like she doesn't look like a reality star. I don't mean that in a bad way either, but it just I don't know. Hopefully she stands out. Next up we have Celly Vasquez from Love Island. Take it away, Luke.
So like I did watch like that season. I didn't watch season 1. I started season 3 and I kind of with you, but I did watch all of their season. I like Celly. I think she's like an airhead, but in the funniest way. And I'm glad she's there with Justine. Do I see her doing well? No. Like her cast photo, she's wearing like a flowy cardigan made out of athletic material. I don't know. But I'm glad she's there because I feel like she's going to add some comedic relief. Not that she's trying to be funny, but she's going to be being serious and people are going to think it's funny because she's just not a serious girl.
Yeah, I agree with all that. I liked her and Johnny together, and so it would have been nice to see them both, but for sure she's going to be funny without meaning it. Even in like the little mini trailer, she was like already being I'm like, what are you talking about? So I think that's going to be the whole season, but maybe that will be an advantage to her because if they look at her as dumb, they won't look at her as a threat. So, that could be an advantage to her.
She's gorgeous, and I'll say this as someone who's a very proud Mexican. I'm just frustrated that with all the diversity they've been putting into reality TV, we really still aren't getting a lot of like Latin representation. It's just her and Alyssa on this season, and I'm just like really mad because CBS, like I like that you're casting all these hot Latin people. My eyes love it, but could we just get one person with like an IQ over 120? Just could we? I just want to see one smart like book smart Latin person on the show. It's very frustrating to me, be someone to relate to. But I guess if they're hot, that's cool too. But I don't know.
Hot, yes. Also, I just want to say, Cashel, I was so wrong. He was out like day 17 of the island. I just thought he won for some reason because he ended up with somebody long term, and that like messes my brain up. So I was wrong, but his ex is there.
I already forgot Cashel existed. We're done. I saw that photo and I'm like, let's move on.
I just don't want to be on Reddit, okay?
Yeah. Next up, we have Danny McRae from the most recent, not the most recent now, Survivor Season 41. He was a Dallas Cowboys football player. He played at LSU for college. He's gone and gotten his master's degree since then, I think his MBA. Super smart guy, really well built, and even though he's like an NFL player, he's about 6'1", 215, so he's functionally fit. He's not way too big. I think he's like has to be one of the favorites because he's just like he's smart, strong, and athletic. I mean, what else could you want?
I was going to say the same thing. Like on his Survivor season, he's obviously a professional athlete, but not in a sense that's going to scare you as soon as you see him. Functional is the best way to put it. Cast picture's fine, but I do think he's going to be a huge threat, especially because there are so many Survivor people coming into this. And if you watch the season of Survivor, he kind of laid low at the beginning, which I thought he was boring at first. But towards the end, he started making moves, and he got closer and closer to that win, which he fell short of. But I feel like he could be a big threat.
I like him. I like his personality, everything that he brings. I don't like it when they have the helmets in their cast photos, though. I think that's so stupid. They wear the helmets for like 2 challenges, maybe. So it makes, I feel this, maybe this is too deep. I feel like when they have the helmets, it's because they're insecure. That's just how I look at it. Like they're like, I need my security helmet. But I'm excited for him. He's one of the Survivor people I'm excited for.
I'm gonna be real. I love Danny. I think he's amazing. I think he's a big threat. He's super likable. I think this cast photo stinks. I think it really does. I think I don't know how he's going with the full zip. He has an amazing body to show off. It's really hiding his body. I don't like the helmet either. I think his beard can be trimmed just a tiny bit as well. Just not a lot. Just like a tiny bit off the bottom. I think he'd look fantastic. Yeah, this photo sucks for how hot and talented this man is. He's really doing himself a disservice, and that's my reaction to that.
His teeth look good, though.
They do. They do. Excellent, man.
I think we skipped a C.
I do too. I was just looking at that. I think we skipped a C.
Skipped a C.
Who did we skip? Oh, we did skip. We skipped. I did not save the photo, or I saved the photo under a different name.
His real name's Melvin. But let's speak on Cinco now. Is that appropriate? Can we do that, Alan?
Yeah. Let's do it. It's way different in my computer file, but that's okay. Let's talk about Melvin Cinco Holland from Love Island. He was a collegiate football player. He is a personal trainer, and he's one giant hunk of a man. Holy hell.
So I'll let Paige take it away in a second because I don't know that much about him aside his ex or current girlfriend. I don't know what the situation is, but she said it earlier and hit the nail on the head. These Love Island people are young. They're in shape. Like the entire point of their show was to be hot. And if you find love, okay, cool. You get to stay longer, but like they have to be hot. I feel like he's going to go far just because he is so built and there's Love Island numbers. But the rest of it, Paige, you take it away.
He's so hot. When I saw the profile pics today, I was like laying in bed with my man and I was like, oh, Cinco. And he was like, really? I was like, I'm sorry. Like, he is a very attractive man. So long story short, on Love Island, he was kind of in a weird love triangle that he created himself, and it involved Cash. He got voted off the island, and then a week later, she got voted off the island. And instead of going right home, she took a plane to him, and they were together after that. But they broke up like a month and a half before they went to go film the Challenge USA on CBS. So there are 2 exes in the house, and it's hard to say if they get along or not because they don't really interact on social media or anything like that. He never spoke publicly about the breakup. It was only her, but it didn't seem to be too salacious. So if the 2 of them paired together, I feel like they would work so well together. There's other people from their cast there as well. He's a little boring. He is a little boring. And he's not very assertive. So he's a likable version of Fessy, if that makes sense. So
it does.
He's a likable version of Fessy, but I would love to see Cinco go far. I love him and his big muscles, and I want him and Cash to hook up. That's what I want. That's my prediction.
He looks so symmetrical. He looks so like his face, his chin, his muscles. He's just so clean and pristine, and he makes that challenge jersey actually look good. I gotta say, this is actually a very terrible jersey that they're giving all these cast members. It looks like a bit. I don't even know how to describe it.
It looks
It's
small.
Like silky too. So like
mesh, silky. It's hard to describe. It doesn't look good. I don't like it, but he looks good in it, and that's a testament to him for being just like, good Lord, good God.
Yeah.
That's a man, brother.
When he walked into the Love Island house, every girl looked at their man like, fuck. Like, because he came in a little bit later. Yeah, he's fine.
Okay, baby. Let's talk about this next person. We have David Alexander from Big Brother 19 and 20 or 20 and 21?
21 and 22.
21 and 22. He was the first boot on his original show, then went on the All-Star season, and existed. He made it to like what, ninth place, I believe, or eighth place. Then I think he's on X on the Beach now. Is he?
No.
No. He's
He
not.
was called for it, but
He's called. Okay.
Let me just take it away because holy cow. David got dealt such a bad hand on Big Brother 21. Arguably one of, if not second place, most racist seasons of Big Brother ever. Okay, David was obviously a target of that. He's invited back the next season for All-Stars. Arguably not an All-Star, but in his own respect, he is because he kind of was dealt the worst cards in the season prior, whatever. He got a second chance, and he was so boring and could not think for himself. He has been called for things like X on the Beach, but he himself has said, I'm too boring to go on that show. I'm fearful that he's just going to be a follower on the challenge, CBS, USA, whatever it is. But that's kind of perfect if he's working with Big Brother, which, I mean, I would assume he would be. So I'm indifferent. I'm happy he's getting these opportunities because I think he's a nice guy, but he's not doing anything for me.
I tuned out at the end of Big Brother All-Stars 2 because it was just a bad show. But when I was watching, he wasn't even athletic. He was going against older players, and he just couldn't win a comp physically. I don't think he's going to do well on this show. I think this cast photo is extremely conservative. I don't like the call. I don't like the way this is look all the way up. I don't know. I'm out. I think we should just turn the page on David Alexander.
Yeah, I don't care about him.
All right, let's move on then. Next up, we have Derek Shao from Big Brother 23. He was a fan favorite. He came in second place in the America's Favorite Player vote. Just a delightful young fellow. Very thin though. I will say that the Challenge CBS USA show has a lot more smaller males that probably would not do well in the main season of the challenge because they would just get targeted immediately. But because there's so many thin males on this show, maybe they blend in a little more.
Probably not because he's so tiny. I started Big Brother 23 really liking him, and then he just became insufferable to me. And his social media presence after the show has just been annoying to me as well. I do think he will provide maybe comedic relief on this because he is so small. And without like saying anything crazy, I don't think this is the last we've seen of him. Like, I feel like he's very lovable to these CBS people, and that's exactly why he was chosen. I mean, the same with Azah. She's a small girl, so logically she might not make it far, but fans, viewers loved her. So I feel like that's the same kind of deal we're getting with Derek X.
If I never saw him again, I would not be sad. I don't know why. I never understood it. It just never appealed to me. I think he's a nice guy, but I feel like he's obsessed with being on reality TV, and I don't like somebody that's obsessed with being on reality TV. And even if it's not their fault, I hate a production favorite. I always hate a production favorite, and he's going to do The Amazing Race. He's going to do Survivor. He's going to do every show ever, and we're never going to get rid of this guy. So hopefully he shows up on this show, and then I'll like him again.
They put him on the cover of this CBS challenge show too, and that was just stunning. I could not fathom when that happened. Uh, yeah, I maybe he does something big if they're putting him on the cover, but it was unbelievable to me. I have always liked him because I have a friend who he reminds me completely of one of the sweetest guys in my life. So I see my friend when I see Derek X, but that's not my friend. So I have to disconnect too.
Yeah.
Next up, we have someone that a lot of people, including myself, are very excited about. She actually didn't make that big of a splash on her Survivor season, but she is a stunning looking individual, has her doctorate, I believe, and is a personal like nutrition and fitness trainer. Her name is Desi Williams.
Desi is what she goes by. Her name is Destiny, but Desi, she is my winner's pick. She is built. She was smart on Survivor. Age, we've seen in the challenges, like only help most people. Like the older they get, the better they are in their game. I am so happy to see her. There was rumors that she was supposed to be on Total Madness on MTV and was dropped from that. So I'm glad she's getting back into this realm. And I would love to see her transition onto the MTV version of the show, or if she wins the CBS version to the international, whatever it's called. But I'm so excited to see her.
I think her cast photos is one of the best ones, honestly. She looks really strong. Her hair looks perfect. It's like you said about Cinco being symmetrical, her face looks good.
Oh
So
yeah.
I think she is one of the best cast photos that there is.
Oh, her forearms look ridiculous. My God. I mean, like obviously she has the biceps and the trap, but like, damn, those forearms, those are really impressive forearms on a human. God damn. She's gorgeous. She looks amazing. And I mean, that's how she looks physically. She's got a doctorate in nutrition. She's a smart girl. Uh yeah, we're excited about her for a reason. Next up, we have someone I actually am excited to see, and it is Dominic Abate from Survivor Ghost Island. He came in second place on his season. He actually tied for the most votes at the end of the final tribal council, led to a overtime vote cast by the third person where he just came up short. He's one of the best Survivor players to never win. He has a lot of energy. He's extremely strategic. He's good in challenges. He works. Yeah, he does CrossFit. He does construction. I love Dom. I think he's a great Survivor player. And I'm excited to see him transition onto the challenge, even if he is a bit older.
So Dominic is a good player, and I can't stand him. And I wish that instead of him, we got Wendell on the show. Wendell's messy. Wendell still has like flings with girls, or at least drama with girls, as recent as Winners at War. So Dominic just really doesn't do it for me. Plus, he's kind of older. I don't know. I'm indifferent.
He's older, but I kind of view him in a light. I'm not kind of with like our challenge vets who are still really good on All Stars, where they have the mental game and they can keep up physically. That's how I view Dom because he does CrossFit, he does a lot of athletic stuff, he keeps himself in great shape, and I think when it comes to like the mental side of the game, he has what a lot of the other people don't. He was a frenetic Survivor player who went all out, and he really is someone who will commit his heart to the game. And like Wendell, I love Wendell. I think they should both be on, but Wendell's more low key. He's more like I'm just gonna chill and relax and I'm gonna rest on my strengths. Whereas like Dom will want to take control of the game, and I really think that, like that's the difference between them. He's older, but he's doing the show because he's wanted this shot probably for like his entire life.
I don't really have an opinion.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't really have I'm the worst at like some of the CBS shows. Like I'm all in for Love Island, but some shows I'll like watch like 2 seasons in a row and then I'll like take a break, like Survivor, that kind of. So I'm not the authority on this one.
I will say his his cast photo does look like a high school principal who's just like a few years like away from retirement. It's not great.
Yeah.
I just went into that long and passionate speech and I just took a deep look at his photo. Not great. Not great. Ooh. Next up, we have Enzo Palumbo from Big Brother 12 and Big Brother 23. He finished second place on the All Star season, finished third place on his original season. He's known for calling himself the Meow Meow. That's what's right. He's from New Jersey. I like Enzo is like some people like they absolutely hate him. Some people think he's hilarious. Extremely divisive character.
So I don't really like Enzo, but as far as like maybe older contestants, he makes sense. I feel like he's in great shape. I feel like on BB22, like he got into the social, political aspect of the game, even if it was really easy for him because he was in the majority. I'm not disappointed to see him on here. And the cast photo, like he looks like he's watching his daughter's soccer game. That's all I've got.
I mean, I think anybody that gives themselves like a nickname or like a tagline is a weirdo, but
Mm-hmm.
I think he'll have value to I think he'll add value to the cast and everything. So I'm not like disappointed to see him or anything like that.
He's genuinely funny. He did make me laugh a few times on the live stream watching Big Brother 23. Next up, we have James Wallington from The Amazing Race. And Luke, as our Amazing Race expert, give us your insight.
Never watched the show a day in my life. He looks like he's not going to do well. Maybe he'll prove me wrong. I don't know if you thought I watched Amazing Grace. I've never in my life.
Yo, no, you're definitely our expert here.
Okay.
I don't know. He has like a joint Instagram account. And I
Does
think
he?
that's weird. Yeah, him and his husband.
And didn't they win the Amazing Race together?
I think they came in second.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure.
So wrong on that. So, but I do think they came in second. Obviously, he likes to travel. He has like a nice Instagram feed and everything, but is he strong? I don't know.
He looks like an assistant principal in his cast photo.
Oh, he won, by the way.
Oh, he did win?
Yeah, interestingly enough. I just had to Google that. But maybe he'll come out and shock us.
Yeah, hopefully.
But did he win because of his partner or did he win because of him? See, that's the thing about Amazing Race is they have a partner. So once they're solo, you don't really know what it's going to be. That's my only thing with Amazing Race.
And that's true. And that's something we've seen on the challenge, like the main show. Like people sometimes perform better when they feel like someone else's fate is at stake. So maybe when it's just him, he's going to be like, I'm here to have fun. Another TV show.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Giovoni Vega from Love Island, and he chose that hat. What a choice!
See, okay, I did watch episodes of him. I'm not a big fan. Like, if he's first boot, okay, see ya. Maybe he'll do it in the bucket hat. I don't know. He's in shape.
Is he? I mean, Giovanni's a character for sure. He's for sure who I would have ended up with on Love Island because he's so goofy and annoying that like I would have been like, oh my god, he's so cute. And then when we got off the island, it would have been a disaster. But he never took anything seriously on Love Island, and he was always trying to be a character. And I feel like that's what he's gonna do here, and it's gonna get him out very early. I don't even know if like the other people from his season really fuck with him like that either. So I don't think it's gonna look good. The bucket hat, it's like his thing. It's his thing.
I like bucket hats. I'm not gonna lie. I'm one of the few who do like the bucket hat, but I'm not feeling it with this photo. These jerseys, man, they really are not flattering unless you're Cinco. God, if I wear one of those jerseys, I just put me out. I would look so terrible. Because like this guy is in shape and like he doesn't look great in it. Like these jerseys need to make some new ones.
Well, I said to somebody, I was like, oh my God, their cast photos look so good. And he was like, oh, they're cast photos. They're going to look good. And then I was like, look at this picture of Giovani. And he was like, oh, never mind. So it just didn't work out for him. But he's a nice guy. I don't think this is the show for him.
Mm-hmm.
Someone I'm pretty excited about from some Googling is Justine Nadiba from Love Island. She was a collegiate, I believe, soccer player, or volleyball player, one of the two. She's pretty athletic, has some good size on her. You know, I'm a sucker for a soccer player. I think soccer is like the perfect sport that translates to the challenge in terms of like quick thinking, footwork, and cardio. It builds you perfectly for finals and daily challenges. If someone plays soccer, my brain is just like, oh, they're going to be amazing.
I love Justine. I loved her on Love Island. I even downloaded the app to vote for her to win. Like that's how and I was just casually watching that show. I love her. I love her presence after the show. Like she hangs out with people that are on the challenge from other shows. Like she's really close with Uche and Clinton from Are You the One? Like she's just somebody that I feel like in real life I would vibe with. That would be fun. And she's in good enough shape without being too bulky, which can sometimes like hinder you in some of these things. I said Desi might be my pick, and she probably still is, but Justine's my number 2 for the girls because I love, and I'm biased. I love her.
I think she's going to kill it. She's great. I think that she has the social game down. She's obviously very physically fit and she's very likable. I think people underestimate how important it is to be likable in a house like this. We've seen it on, All Stars, on the flagship, on all of that. If they don't like you, even if you're the best, you're going. So I think that'll help her a lot too.
And she looks good in this photo, just straight up. She looks really solid. Yeah. We're going on to a Big Brother person, the 4th place finisher of Big Brother 23, 24, whatever just happened last year. It is Kyland Young. And Paige, did you meet him in person?
Yeah.
Wasn't he way bigger than you? Was he way bigger than you expected? Because he was actually pretty damn built. I was actually very shocked.
He is bigger in person than I expected. Yeah. I don't know. I'm weird about Kylan because he watches my Instagram stories but doesn't follow me. It's really weird. I don't like it when people do that. But he is a lot bigger in person. I can't stand how he dresses. So I'm glad that they dressed him appropriately for this photo.
Okay. He is messy. He is.
I love it though. I love it.
Oh, I'm saying this is exactly the stereotypical male that we need on these shows because he's good at the game. Like I'm assuming at this point that he's going to be good at these physical challenges. He's going to understand like the strategic mental aspect of the game, but he is so petty. He is so petty. Like his exit with Xavier, who was also on this cast, we'll get to him. Funny. I mean, a little scary, but funny. Okay. His interactions with other women on this cast, with women from the challenge, with women from Survivor that he has presumably slept with, the man gets around in the best way possible. We need someone like that on these shows because it adds so many layers to our viewing experience. I'm so excited to see him. I hope that he wins the entire thing. I don't think he will, but I hope he does. So he goes on to the next show and then maybe gets called for the flagship because he understands exactly what he's supposed to do. And if that doesn't work out, X on the Beach 6, contact the guy. He's got like 28 X's.
He's psycho smart in the way that like you're like, oh, this dude's crazy, but he's crazy in that he actually does like to do stuff and he's really smart. And that's why I was shocked that he was so big. Because when I saw him in person, I thought he'd be like what, like 5'9", 180, something like that. No, he's like a legit 6 foot with like good shoulders. He has good build on him. He could probably go with someone in a balls in or a hall brawl. Like he had some size on him. So I'm like the fact that this guy's like a little bit smart psycho, like he's an actual threat on this show. Like he's a bigger threat on the challenge than he was on Big Brother, and he actually went pretty far on that show too.
I want to see him get laid the fuck out. And I really do. I don't know why. He's just like so cocky. And like, I always say, like, I'll interview anybody. I'll do a collaboration with anybody. But Kylan's one of those people, he would have to reach out to me. You know what I mean? I'm not reaching out first. So, that's kind of how I feel about him. But
yeah. I get it completely because I would love to see him laid out, but also I would love to root against him as he just trounces one of my favorites because he would be so like when I see him, I feel something. And as long as you feel something, you're getting your job done on reality TV, whether I hate you or love you.
That's true. True.
Oh, this girl's gorgeous. Oh my God. This is Kyra Green from Love Island. Is she also on X on the Beach? I'm not watching that show, nor as many people right now.
Oh, I am. Okay, so on Love Island, I really liked her. I liked her storyline, and like she was just kind of figuring out who she was as a person and navigating all that. She was on the Pepsi special, Match Me If You Can, that also had Natalie Negrotti, Ashley Mitchell. Had to get my Ashley plug in there. It was tragic. On X on the Beach, though, she's not doing that much. She's seeing David Barta. She's dealing with her ex, who is also on Love Island. But she's not a standout who I'm like, ooh, I'm excited to see. But I do feel like a lot of people that are boring on like the X on the Beach type shows get a little kick in the butt when they are competing for money. So hopefully that's her, because I would love to see her go far just because I know her, but that's about it.
She was kind of a fan favorite for a while. Like, people really like her, but now she's competing on like a whole different kind of show. So it's interesting to see. Like, Love Island's weird because like it's kind of like how hot you are, how good you make out, and if America likes you. And then X on the Beach, I can't even describe it. So her being in a new competitive environment is either going to bring out the best in her or she's going to flop. There will be no in between. She will either be, people will root for her or be disappointed by her. She's not going to ride the middle, in my opinion. But she's gorgeous.
Yeah, I don't know anything, but I see this photo. I'm in. I bought my stock. I bought my Kyra stock. Next up, we have Leo Tamori from Amazing Race. He was part of a duo called the Afghanimals. They were on 3 out of like 8 seasons in a row. Like, CBS really loved this guy and what they brought to the competition. They came in 4th place, and 3rd place. The guy must have a lot of charisma or something going to him if like CBS puts him on all these shows. Luke, you're our Amazing Race expert.
Just looked at the Amazing Race wiki and figured out the same things you just said. I will say he's 36. Well, maybe that's believable. I don't know. I don't know him, and I hate that my mindset when I go into these shows, whether it's any iteration of it, if I don't know you, I really don't care about you. But that's kind of how I feel. Like, if he does well, good on him. But if he's first boot, it's not a loss because I'm not invested in him.
Yeah, I'm not invested either, but he does have really good hair. Like, his hair looks great in this photo. So why are you wearing a shirt and a jacket, though?
I mean, we've seen the jersey under it. I only think those look good in it now. So I'm actually like...
Zip it.
The full zip does not look good on a lot of these dudes either. Honestly, they just need new attire overall.
No, you know what they would love? Or they should get like a breathable material, but like a half zip or
yeah,
or a 1/4 zip. That would be a good one.
Yeah.
Call me, CBS. I'm available to design.
Oh, we have Luke's favorite person next. We have Sarah Lucina from Survivor Cagayan, Survivor Game Changers, and Survivor Winners at War. She won Survivor her 2nd season, then came in 4th place on the All Winner season. She's a former cop, and she's Luke's favorite.
I'm going to refrain from saying a lot of things because I don't want to offend anyone. I cannot stand her. And she looks so happy to be in this picture because she knows she's really good at physical things, and that scares the crap out of me. Like, please, could you at least, like, she's like the only person giving a huge smile. She's not mean mugging it. I do not like this woman. She is good at gameplay, though. Let me give her some compliments. She's a physical beast. She's good at gameplay. She knows how to, even when done in an irritating way, convince people to get on her side. And she's coming in with one of the larger alliances of the house. Well, really, everyone's a big alliance except for Amazing Race. So scratch that. But I'm scared of her in more ways than one.
I don't really care about her. Maybe I should care more because Survivor fandom really hates her. But I don't really have an opinion one way or another. I do think she's going to do so well this season, though, because she is physically dominant, and she's one of those people that if you have to vote people into eliminations, if she comes back, you would be scared that she comes back because she'll come for you. So
she ran like 30 marathons in 50 days, and I hate that. I just hate hearing that because I'm like, oh my god, she's such a threat. Because my best friend Heather, she was doing her Survivor rewatch, and she's just like, there's just something about Sarah. She's just so dislikable in every way possible. There's just not like she's good at the game, but she's just not. There's nothing redeeming about her. There's just something that's off. And the worst part is, this is the best she's ever looked in a photo to me. Like, that probably is, and I'm like, I don't like that.
She looks good.
Yeah.
Who did her eyebrows though? Like, I'm not trying to be that person. I know that I need to get my eyebrows done right now, but like,
no, Paige, this is the best she's ever looked. She's never looked better in a photo in her life.
I haven't really seen any photos, but I just wish her eyebrows were more present. But she looks happy and excited, so good for her.
I think it's the dark hair, and I will say this too because I don't want to completely hate on her. On Game Changers, she actually played a great game and had a lot of lovable moments where, like, some of her like maybe personal political beliefs were challenged, and she copped up to that and owned up to that and had like almost an awakening on TV. So let me push my hate off to the side and I'll give her a chance.
All right, we got a big personality up next. I don't know much about them, but I think you guys have a lot to say. It is Miss Shannon St. Clair.
Oh.
Oh, I don't know. Is she a big personality? Is she?
Nope.
I don't know. I've
You're
seen a lot
good,
of people excited about her.
My girl. Can I just say too, a lot of people are commenting like, who are these people? Which I get, but Shannon has the most followers out of anybody. And it's weird. I've noticed Survivor people, they have like 50 to 100,000 followers. Love Island people have 3 to 400,000. I don't know what that is, but it's just a thing. Maybe it's because they're hotter.
That's because that's what it is. People are like, you were on Love Island?
Yeah. Shannon, Luke, you start with Shannon and then I'll go on a rant.
Okay, if you're watching YouTube, I made that face because I thought we were about to do somebody else before Shannon, but we're on Shannon. Sorry, that's my bad. Shannon, okay, I did not watch much of her, but my friends made me go watch clips of her. She's going to do something on the show. It might not be physical, but it's going to be like she's going to be a presence. As far as the cast photo, I do not want to comment on this. I'm hesitant to do it. But I do think that like you can go too far with fillers. And I do think she has a lot of fillers in this, which understandably so. We've seen a lot of people go on these shows. Think back to Tori on, I think, Double Agents or maybe Spies as Allies. She even said, like, I got too much filler in my face in preparation for the season. We took cast photos right away. Like it didn't go well. Because Shannon didn't look exactly like this on her Love Island season. And I get that's really petty of me. So I'm just gonna shut up and let Paige take it back away.
I actually kind of always thought that I could never figure out Shannon on Love Island. I couldn't figure out if I liked her or not, just because maybe it was my bias because my man was like, I'm in love with her, and I was like, I will slit your throat. But she on Love Island, she would have won. So her and her boyfriend, they are the only two that are still together from their season. They had to leave early because his sister died, but they would have won the whole season for sure. No one doubts that. Now, her boyfriend was an alternate.
The baseball player?
Yeah.
Oh, he would have been really good. He was a legit good baseball player. I looked at his stats. He was legit good.
He would have been good on the show. They would have been a really big force together, but I'm actually excited to see her without him because there was a fight on Love Island that he kind of instigated a little bit, but she fucking finished it. Like she ended it. It was over. The girl was just annihilated. So people are going to look at Shannon as a huge threat. If you look at her Love Island photos, like she has abs that I didn't even know could exist. So she's extremely physically dominant, and I think people are going to look at her and want to get her out. But I love Shannon. She's my favorite. If she can stay under the social radar, she will win this whole thing. That's my prediction. And my hope, maybe.
Yeah.
All right. From one Shannon to Shan without the O-N. Shan Smith that was the worst transition ever. Shan Smith from Survivor 41. She was the preacher who was looked at as like the master manipulator of the season. Then her game just kind of fell apart in one fall swoop. She even about 7th or 8th place. She even had her own little theme song going throughout the season. I think Luke really liked her.
Okay, Shan is my favorite Survivor player in years. Not of all time, because we've got a lot of greats from the beginning, but in years. Like, when I saw her cast photo for Survivor 41, I was like, I am not going to like this girl. Love her. Okay? She is so smart. She is so cunning. She was playing to win Survivor 41, and it was just so obvious that she was going to win. They had to get her out. Like, Survivor, as Allan just said, made their own song for her. That's unheard of. Like, they played it throughout the season. And when she got voted out, it wasn't the regular tribal music. It was like triumphant return music. It was fantastic. Excitement aside, Shan is really tiny and does have some health issues that I feel are going to hinder her from being a threat at all in this game. So I'm just happy I'm getting to see her on my screen again. I don't have the highest of hopes, but she's also with Survivor people, so maybe they'll keep her safe.
I like her. I think she definitely deserved to have like another season on a show. So hopefully she will live up to kind of everybody's expectations, because I feel like if she doesn't, we won't see her again. So
Right. I'm excited to see Shan as well, but I completely agree. I will say a good indicator was she was put on the poster for the show, for the CBS show. So, because I have the same worries as Luke when it came to like her health issues, but maybe the poster is a good indication. I feel like it should be. Next up, we have someone who I completely adore from Survivor, and it's Miss Tasha Fox from Cagayan and also from Survivor Cambodia. She was on the Brains Tribe on her Survivor season. She's incredibly intelligent, and in the year, and she also won a lot of comps physically on her season as well. In the years since, she's really gotten into bodybuilding and has become really jacked. Tasha's a bit older, but like she couldn't pass up this opportunity because it wasn't available for her when she was younger. So she's taking the opportunity now.
I am so excited to see her. Like, if you had to give me a list of women that I thought they would contact that would be on from Survivor, she would not be on there, but I am not mad at all. Everything you just said, she's smart, she's strong. Like, I think age does give people some benefit on these types of shows. I'm excited to see her.
I'm surprised to see her, but I hope that she does well. I like her cast photo too. She looks so happy.
Mm-hmm.
She's built well. I love Tasha. Yeah. Oh, so I just saw Shannon's abs in that Love Island photo. Impeccable, incredible. Uh, next up, we have another big character. Like while Shan was kind of like the star of Survivor, Tiffany Mitchell was the star of Big Brother most recent season. She won America's Favorite Player. She was looked at as the architect of the Cookout Alliance. Her time on social media since then has been not as great, but I think overall a lot of people are very excited to see her back on reality TV.
So I'm so perplexed by her because Big Brother 23, I was all about Tiffany. I wanted her to win. I sent in the text for her to be America's favorite house guest. I still feel that way. I like her. I think she's a funny lady. I think she's smart. Social media has turned on her. Like, if you see tweets about her being on the show, look at the quote tweets. People are saying the worst stuff, really. And I think she's gotten into some mess on social media with her castmates, and she's kind of been like Kyland's side piece. I don't know, which I think is going to add a cool element to the show because they're both there together. But I'm excited for her. She is somebody too who is also older and this, like, she's not in her 20s, but I feel like she can maybe do well. But I don't know. I'm excited.
I like her. I think she's very sweet. I also voted for her. I do not think she's going to do well on this show. I have a feeling although she's like gorgeous and her body is beautiful, like I don't know if she's ready for something like this. That's all. So I would have much rather seen like Chada over Tiffany. But I love her as a person, so I'll always root for her. I don't understand why she gets so much hate on social media. Actually, the whole Big Brother 23 cast really gets it on social media. So
They never went home. They just never went home. I don't. I think that's part of it. They're still living in their own Big Brother world, kind of.
yeah, they really are.
I was like, does she have a family? Why is she never home?
She flies her son out.
Yeah.
Don't do her.
No, I know. I'm kidding. I'm just shocked because it's just like, how are they everywhere? I'm like, how are they always everywhere? Like, you're not getting paid that much like off the show. Not that soon. Next up, someone. We got a tall ass dude. We got our Skeletor himself, a Survivor legend. Been on Survivor 4 times, winner of Blood versus Water, host of one of the Survivor podcasts, Tyson Apostle.
My winner pick. I know that we have Cincos. I know that we have Danny's. I know that we probably have people that are going to be underdogs. Tyson is my winner pick. I'm biased. I do like him on Survivor, but I can also understand that sometimes he's grading on Survivor. He's so smart. And yes, Skeletor, he's super duper skinny, but he's agile and he's quick thinking. And he knows how to manipulate a group of people in ways that a lot of these people on this cast couldn't ever even attempt to do. So I feel like he's like the staple Survivor player in the Survivor Alliance, where they're going to look to him. Like, what do you think we should do, Tyson? And I feel like you're going to have the outliers from maybe the Amazing Race who are going to like latch on to someone. It's probably going to be Tyson. It's more the same speed, like intense endurance competition. I just feel like he's going to have a great showing on here.
He's also my male winner pick. If him and Shannon St. Clair won the whole thing together, it would not surprise me at all. So doing 4 seasons of Survivor, I can't even imagine like the physical toll that takes on your body. So I think he's like very strong mentally. Obviously, like I don't think like being skinny has to do with anything because like muscles, they don't always do what they're supposed to either. So he's really smart. He'll get really far. I would also not even be surprised if he made it all the way to the final without seeing an elimination too. So, yeah, he's my pick to win. I love Tyson.
Yeah, Tyson's maybe like he's in my top 5 favorite Survivor players ever. I when Luke said grading, I'm like Tyson's ever graded. He's just pure entertainment. Like I've always thought Tyson was like the West of Survivor, and now he's actually going to be competing on the challenge. It's going to be fascinating to watch him. I do think he was a great athlete back in the day because he was like a collegiate track and field runner, cross country specifically. He did some cycling back in the day. But I will say on Winners of War, he didn't look as agile as he used to be. He was kind of a little bit like the gears weren't going in full motion. But I mean, again, if he gets to a final, all that cross country running in the past, that'll pay off and that'll make him a winner. Plus, he has all the puzzle skills and experience. He has a lot of experience that all these other people don't. I just don't know if it comes down to like that, like the quick motor stuff, if he still has it.
I don't know. I'll just say that I'll throw this out there. He plays pickleball now. He's big into pickleball. So I don't know.
I feel like pickleball is a phenomenon that happened during COVID and that we just like allowed to happen, by the way. Like I feel like we have a new pandemic and it's pickleball. I really
Exactly.
don't ever ask me to come play pickleball. It's not happening.
The funniest thing too is the fact that he was just on it for years, and then the pandemic really just allowed him just to take it by storm. Yeah. Is that it? No, we got one more person.
Come on.
We have the winner of the most recent season of Big Brother. We have Xavier Prather. He is an attorney, and he is, well, I don't know if he does that much law work anymore, but he won Big Brother. He has a law degree, and the guy just looks like a physical specimen. He has a great body. Like looking at him standing next to Kyland, now that I know what Kyland looks like, I know Xavier's built pretty much the same way, except he has some more abs. I mean, smart, physical, just a bit boring. But the boring led to his success and win on Big Brother.
So here's what I'll say about that. I'm really hopeful that on this show, he's far less boring. Because he's proved himself already. He's a winner. Okay. This is not, I mean, it is a social game, but Big Brother is completely social. Like it's all social. You can win a comp or two, whatever, but it's all social. I'm interested to see him and Kylan interact. I'm sure they're fine. We've seen them hang out since Big Brother 23 has ended, but it's going to be fun. I'm excited to see him and Alyssa because there's been so much speculation that the two of them have like hooked up after the show. But he's a logical choice to have on here, but I'm not super excited for him to be on the show, I guess.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I hope him and Kylan have to do an elimination against each other and Xavier whoops his ass. That's what I'm dark. Like I like it when people have to go against their best friends. It's like, my dream, but really, like it really is. But I think he'll do okay, but I don't think he'll do well. I would be shocked if anybody from Big Brother won this. I would be shocked.
If someone was, I think it would be him because he is like he just goes under the radar. He is smart, athletic. I mean, he's good at everything. There's nothing he's bad at other than like entertainment. I will say, Luke, you're like, oh, he won a season. Maybe he'll be less boring, bro. Why do you act like we haven't watched Casey Clark just be a couch for all these years?
Yeah, I'd like to think that she's an anomaly, but she's not. But to what Paige said about like Big Brother not winning, I so agree because I feel like they are the type of contestants who get so wrapped up into small things and like feuds and things like that. But I also think that if you're on this cast and you're thinking long term, Do I want to make it onto the flagship show? Is that a possibility? Do I want to maybe transition into an X on the Beach type thing just because I'm a reality TV star? Big Brother's kind of taking the cake for that on MTV right now. They've already got those spots. So why would you let a big group of those people dominate on CBS again? I really feel like Big Brother's going to have a rough go at it if everybody else is smart about it.
I think Survivor will do the best. Love Island will surprise people. Amazing Race will go unnoticed. And Big Brother will be first boots out. That's what I think.
I think we're going to have... I'm not going to say an exciting season because that'd be a lie. But I think we're going to have a season, and hopefully it's exciting. I really hope we see some unexpected outcomes, some people surprise us, and some people really make a splash to where we get to see them translate into the main show. So we get like a CBS versus MTV show. I just want good challenge at all times. And I'm really happy you guys did this podcast with me. It was a whole lot of fun. We went through the cast. Let's just lift off the names in order again, just to remind you guys. Alyssa Lopez, Angela Rummins, Azah Awasam, Ben Drybergen, Cashay Proudfoot, Cashay Barnett, Kayla Platt, Selly Vasquez, Danny McRae, David Alexander, Derek Shaw, Desi Williams, Dominic Abate, Enzo Palumbo, James Wallington, Giovoni Vega, Justine Adiba, Kyland Young, Kyra Green, Leo Tamori, Melvin Cinco Holland Jr., Sarah Lucina, Shannon St. Clair, Shan Smith, Tasha Fox, Tiffany Mitchell, Tyson Apostle, and Xavier Prather.
Now you know what it's like to be a teacher, railing off all those names like that.
Mm-hmm.
You're both teachers. I mean, you guys.
Oh.
Yeah.
Love that. What do you teach?
High school English.
Oh, gross. It's my worst nightmare, but I'm proud of you.
Thanks.
So before we end this podcast, Paige, plug all your social media.
All my shit. So on TikTok, I am pretty_pettyx, and on Instagram, most likely to pod. I think on Twitter, I'm a little boring on Twitter. Allan, you're much more exciting. But I am most likely pod on Twitter, and then you can find my podcast most likely to. It's TWO, literally everywhere but YouTube, because I put makeup on for you, but I'm not going to put it on for anybody else. So I'll never be on YouTube. But yeah, follow me there. Allan and I will do a collab soon. We'll do all the things. It'll be great. So I love you for having me on. Thank you. This was so fun.
It was a lot of fun. It was a great time. And also, you just reminded me I have to do a Pride Month tweet today at some point. I gotta find something out. Yeah. And then follow Luke on Twitter at Final Reckoning. The final is with an I, because yeah. And follow me on Twitter at the Allan Aguirre, Caffeine Confessionals on YouTube. Subscribe. CF Confessionals. There's a Twitter account, not really used, but sometimes used for videos and stuff like that. As a whole, thank you for watching. Have a great day.